This is a 9-week growing season tomato test comparison. And this is a celebrity that we're looking at here, planted on June 5th, and it's now, actually I should say 8 weeks, because today's August 8th. And you can see that this celebrity has quite a few tomatoes on it in this little pot, and I think it's doing pretty well. And then next to it, give some perspective, is an early girl, and you can see that the early girl is taller and may actually have more tomatoes on it, and the tomatoes are larger and they're ripening faster. So this is an early girl. Still the early girl here. You can see it really does have a lot of tomatoes on it after 8 weeks. And you can see some of them are starting to turn. And then there's the celebrity again. And here's a distance perspective. But I'd say they're both doing very well and have a good number of tomatoes. Now, by contrast, this is a big boy here. And you can see from here that it is a much bigger plant, but it has way fewer tomatoes. In fact, it's got probably less than a quarter of the number of tomatoes that these other two plants have. Part of the problem is that a couple of the stems got damaged somehow, but this thing is just mainly, you know, stem and leaves, and not that much fruit. And you can see, you know, even though it's a much bigger plant, that there's a lot fewer tomatoes. One of them is starting to turn, and several of the tomatoes that the big boy has had have not formed at the bottom and have been rotten at the bottom. I'm not sure what that's called, but anyway. So based on this year, the big boy is not doing very well. Now we have two more tomato plants. This is a Park's Whopper, an improved Park's Whopper that was planted on the same date as these others. All have had exactly the same treatment, same water, 2 fertilizer spikes. And so you can see this has a fair number of tomatoes. It's a big plant. I'd say it's doing much better than the big boy. It's got quite a few more tomatoes, but not as many though as the celebrity or the early girl. And then finally, we have a better boy, and it too is a huge plant, and it's got some tomatoes in there, but not really that many. So and then here is all of them together. So we have the better boy on the far right, then the improved Park's Whopper, then the big boy, then the early girl, then the celebrity. And as you can see on this angle, the Park's Whopper does have a fair number of tomatoes. The better boy really doesn't have that many tomatoes. It's actually closer to the big boy in terms of production, although it does have, you know, more than the big boy, but still not really very many, although it's got a few little ones coming on at the top. So we'll have to see. But so far, the Park's Whopper has quite a few more. And so anyway, this is a tomato comparison after 8 weeks of growing in Baldwin, Missouri, or actually Manchester, Missouri. And perspective, better boy, improved Parks Whopper, big boy, early girl, and celebrity. This is another shot of the celebrity, and it really does have quite a few tomatoes. And this is a 360-degree view of the early girl. Almost 360 degrees. I mean, and so it's got, I think, the best proportion of tomatoes to foliage of any of them. Here's another shot of the improved Parks Whopper. And this is another one of the big boy, which is just almost all leaves and stems and very little fruit in there. Very disappointed. And the leaves are all curled too. I don't know quite the deal on that, but you can see that they're all curled. Most of them are curled, and the plant just doesn't look that healthy. The celebrity, by contrast, looks much healthier, and so does the early girl. This better boy really does look like a cousin to the big boy because it's mainly stems and leaves, and there are quite a few flowers out there, so maybe it'll make